Okay, we are streaming. Oh, what's up? Good lord. No! No! Okay. Anyway, we are streaming. This is the call-in show where you're gonna call in and talk to me about a topic. Today's topic is bad habits. Bad habits. Very bad habits. I guess we could do some good habits too if you want to, just as a little side note at the end. But we're talking mainly about bad habits. Gonna do a lot of calls today. Quick calls. Try to get as many callers as possible in a 2 hour approximate time limit. You know, I decided to do this call-in show too spur of the moment. I'm usually 2 beers deep at this point. When I start talking on the call-in show, usually I'm at 2 beers at that point. Right now, I'm only halfway through a pint. It's a big bottle pint, baby bottle pint, and it's not enough. I'm not there. So forget it. Forget that. I'm not doing it. That's a bad habit. Drinking during the call-in show. It's never gonna stop is the problem. There's no good alternative. I did a stone cold sober call-in show once, and I just couldn't get excited about the calls in the same way. It's not you guys, okay, it's me. But boy, it's really boring when I'm not pissed drunk doing this show. So I'll try to get to that point. Bad habits, I got lots of them. I'm a picker. I like to pick my lips and my nose. And I'm always, like, when I'm by myself, I am nonstop picking my nose. It's just awesome. I just love doing it. I don't know what to say. It gives me great joy. I used to pick my nails. I used to pick and peel my nails, my fingernails, but I had got enough hangnails doing that I had to stop. It was too much. What else do I pick? Sniff my toilet paper after used. I mean, I fart and burp. I guess I don't know if that's a bad habit or what else. Smoking, weed, and nicotine, and I don't know. I've got all the general ones. I feel like I basically bounce from one bad habit to the next. And whenever I'm feeling bad, it's either because in my mind because I haven't done enough bad habits, or I've done too much of them. I don't know. Okay, anyway, I have nothing to say, so I'm going to open up the call-in lines now. You can call in now. The number is 518-288-7938. It's right there on the screen now. 518-288-7938. Call in, talk to me about your bad habits. I feel like we're all gonna have some similar ones, so maybe try to bust out a unique bad habit. Like maybe you're one of those picking my scabs and eating them sort of people. That's freaky, dude.
Call from
Esweezy.
Esweezy, I already know your bad habit.
Yes, you do in the minute hour.
You
do.
Are you high as a kite right now?
I am, as per usual.
You ever smoke any different drugs or inject yourself or something, or are you just a pure weed man?
I've never injected myself, but I have done many novel drugs.
Is there one in particular that stands out as very good or very bad?
Well, I did DMT once.
How's that?
Oh, it was great. It opened my third eye. I almost broke through, but
Whoa.
I was limited by how much DMT I had.
You didn't smoke enough.
Yeah.
What was opening your third eye like? What did you see with your third eye?
It was kind of like a giant hallway in a psychedelic universe. It's kind of like you're going down this giant hallway and there's a door at the end of it. And you can almost open it if you have enough DMT in you, but I didn't have enough, so I saw the door, I got close to it, and I shot back.
God damn. You never thought to try again to see what lay behind the door?
I've never had pure enough DMT for me to consider using it again.
Well, that's too bad. So weed is doing it for you. You're like an everyday weed smoker.
Oh yeah. But I'll tell you the bad habit the minute hour is vaping.
Oh. Nicotine vape?
Nicotine vape.
How does it? Do you just do it all the time? Are you constantly honking on the vape?
Constantly.
It doesn't even. I mean, I'm the same way, but it doesn't. It's a annoying habit because it doesn't even do anything. It's like you only get the rush if you do it like once a day or something.
I've noticed that. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'll take a big honk off that motherfucker, and I'll like feel it in my legs.
That's what you want every time, right? Or is it?
Yeah, that's what I want every time, but I can't get it like that every time.
You can't wait that long either.
Yeah.
It's only because you're unconscious that you haven't honked the vape for a few hours.
Exactly.
All right, well, hey, Esweezy, thanks for calling in.
Hey, yeah, it's great to be on, man.
All right, have a great day, dude.
You too, dude.
Bye. Quick calls, real quick calls. You know, there's going to be obviously a lot of drug talk on this, but, you know, we don't have to exclusively go drugs. There's all kinds of bad habits. Eating habits, time management, bad strategies. I don't know. Gaming. What's your bad habit? The number is 518-288-7938. Call in.
From
Brent.
Brent.
Hey.
How's it going, dude?
It's going all right. It's going okay.
We're talking bad habits today. What's your bad habit?
I love bad habits.
And don't put me on blast. I know you're about to.
I won't touch it. I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay.
The guns are down.
What are your bad
habits? I do
habits?
have an answer for this, though.
Okay, sure.
For bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this actually is a habit, but I feel like I'm really slow when I'm like doing something. Like taking way too much time. You know what I mean?
Like a project or like what do you mean in particular?
Like I need to go work out, right? And I'm like, okay, well, before I work out, I need to like go do this. And then it's like, okay, well now I'm like ready and I'm set, but let me go find the right playlist. All right, well now I got the right playlist, but let me just kind of like sit here for a second, maybe get like a video going. You know what I mean? It's like a procrastination type of bad habit, but it's like for everything, even eating.
Even eating?
Yeah. Like if I'm hungry, I'll still like find things in the way.
What will slow you down from eating? You have to eat the perfect bite?
Yeah, you know, it's more like, okay, I'm hungry, but like, what food should I go get? Where should I get it or whatever? And then like, if I have the food ready, I'm just like, should I just wait to eat or should I, eat now and then like try to time it better for later or something like that? Just too many questions along the way and they just take forever.
Yeah, a lot of timing. You're really calculating the timing of things. Do you feel like is that beneficial to you? Do you feel like you ate that meal and like I fucking nailed the timing of that? Like I ate that at just the right time. I'm gonna be set.
Yes, actually yes. Where it's like, if you're having dinner or whatever, and then you're like, okay, and there's just like a little bit of daylight left after you finish it. I don't know. Maybe this is like a neurological thing, but like I love that when it's like I finish food for like dinner and I'm done for the day, but then there's just like the lights going down. It's like, okay, the day isn't quite over, but it's basically over, and I just kind of finished it off. It's like a really satisfying feeling.
Do you have like a very particular schedule that you try to keep?
No, not at all. I should though.
You just want to eat before sundown. That's the main one.
Yeah, right at sundown, and then finish before the sun is down.
Nothing's better.
Nothing in the bed.
All right, hey Brent, thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you, man.
Of course.
I'll message you soon. All right. All right.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, right into the next one.
Jose.
Jose? Hello?
Jose, spicy winner.
Jose touching my nuts? Is that what you said?
Jose, spicy winner. Come again?
What?
You
Legato?
call about the intro? Yeah, this is Legato.
Yeah, what do you, we're talking bad habits today, Legato. What do you got?
Well, I usually call in with a fake name. That's a bad habit.
Yeah, it's
I always
fun.
feel like I got a bit lined up, but then I don't.
Yeah,
And
you never follow through on the bit. That's true.
this is very true. And eating while I talk on the phone,
Oh, God.
it gets people so rattled and irritated. They're like, "Why don't you stop eating?"
What are you eating? What is that, fake eating or is that
Cheetos.
real eating? Cheetos?
Cheetos, but I don't really like gum them around. I don't like to actually chew.
Ugh. That is, yeah, that's gross.
It's like eating like a worm. People hate it. It's a bad habit.
Do you like want to
Especially
get
on the
like
phone.
a whole mouthful of gummy Cheetos, or you do it one at a time? Do you savor them?
I'll just get two. I put them on each side of my tongue, and I kind of like throw them back and forth.
Yeah,
And
that's
I do it
gross.
for like 10 minutes straight on the same, I never chew them.
Yeah, this is
It's
horrible.
like I break them down very, very slow like a worm. It's a terrible habit.
All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good bad habit. I don't know
Yeah,
anybody
thank
else
you,
who
man.
does that. Hey, thanks for calling in,
Yeah,
Legato.
Okay, well, I guess I'll kiss you later.
Okay, bye. We're going so quick. My God, I'm gonna set a record today. I can feel it. A world record. It's because I wasn't 2 beers in when I started, so I can just zip through. I was almost okay. Good.
Call from
this?
Taylor.
Taylor, hello.
Hey.
We're talking bad habits today. What is your bad habit?
Well, probably one of my worst bad habits is if I'm going to do anything, there's like no middle ground. If I'm going to get high, I'm going to get as high as I can. If I'm going to do something wrong, I'm going to do it as wrong as possible.
You're one of these
I don't.
people.
Yeah.
Does that mean
For
you have to
sure.
stop yourself from even starting things?
Yeah, if I don't stop it's easier to maintain not doing something. The second I decide to do it, it's all over. Like, I've lost.
That's how
So
I am
it's like-
with sweets. I just have to not buy cookies or brownies because I'll eat as much as I've bought on the same day,
Today
no matter
I
what.
gave in, and I bought like little unicorn sugar cookies for the exact same reason. If I see sweets somewhere, I've got to have them. I've got to eat them all, and like then just never have them for 3 weeks. Like
Yeah, so-
it's all or nothing. Got to hit the dabs all day.
So the benefit that I've found, because I'm the same way, and the benefit that I've had with this is that I'll overdo something so bad that it'll be so long before I even consider wanting it again. Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, I definitely overdo things. Right now, the weirdest thing I'm overdoing is pork belly.
Oh.
And I'm definitely hitting the like select satiation on pork belly.
I just bought pork belly today.
Oh, it's so good, right?
It's on sale. I don't know. I haven't had it. Like the last time I cooked pork belly, I ate too much of it and I puked because it's so rich
Yeah.
and fatty.
It is rich. It's almost better the day after. But like now I say that and I've got some in the fridge and I don't want to eat it because I've eaten too much too.
Have you ever eaten till puking?
Once or twice. Definitely as a kid. There was one time I can vividly remember my cousin had a wedding and they had like a chocolate fountain.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
put everything in that chocolate fountain.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely no food safe.
Yeah. That's a dangerous thing to put in the presence of children.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, Taylor, thanks so much for calling in. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Quick calls. Who's next?
Call from
Seth?
Was it Seth?
Yeah, that's me, buddy.
Yo, buddy, we're on the
Yep.
call-in
Yo.
show. We're talking about bad habits.
Oh, I know. I've been here.
Shit, well, what do you want to
So I
talk
guess-
about?
I guess I would say, I have many bad habits. I smoke a lot of weed, cigarettes.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, well, doesn't everybody, if they want to?
Every day
And I
weed
would say-
smoker, every hour.
Oh,
Give
whenever
me
I
the
can,
frequency. Okay, nice. Hell yeah.
I would say my biggest bad habit would be assuming that I know pretty much everything that's going on. I feel like my whole life I've prefaced myself for pretty much any instance, and then I get to it and I do it, and people think I'm talented. But I don't think that's the case. I think that talent isn't so innate.
What is it?
I just feel like, there's probably some instances where that's a pretty bad habit to feel like I know I'm ready,
I don't understand. You said you get ready to do things and you do a good job. And then what? Where's the problem?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a bad habit to preface for your whole life instances. And then you get to them and you do them right. Maybe one time, I might bite off more than I can chew. It's a bad habit, I think.
Do you really think this is a bad habit? Has it ever done you wrong to this point?
Not off the top of my head. Maybe I'm pessimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. It sounds like this is something this is a philosophy that has done you well.
Oh, well, hell yeah, brother. I feel a little bit lighter after having this conversation.
Is this a trap? Is this going somewhere that I'm not ready for?
No,
what's
just
the scenario where you bite off too much, more than you can chew? Like you're gonna get sent on a mission to Mars or something. Like you're gonna be the first person to accept the Neuralink.
I feel like it's more mundane or benign than that. I feel like I'll be like Steve Irwin, maybe a little too soon. I'll dive a little too close to the bottom, or.
All right, that's a good point. Steve Irwin, everyone loved his fearless spirit. But he was killed by a fish.
Yeah, I guess we're all just trying to be lovable.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for hearing me, brother.
All right, you have a good day, Seth. All right, good enough. Oh, suspected spam caller.
Call from
Cody.
It's Cody. Cody? Hello? Oh.
Hey, how you doing?
Yo, Cody, you're on. We're talking about bad habits.
Oh yeah, hey, long-time fan. I love your videos
Thanks, man.
and your audio calls and stuff like that.
Thank you. We're talking about bad habits today. What's your bad habit?
I think one of my bad habits is that when I'm talking to people, I try to end the conversation as soon as it becomes not interesting to me anymore. I stop listening to people, whatever they have to say, just want to get the conversation done. And then when I'm done with the conversation, I just say, all right, well, see you later, and just kind of walk away.
This is for everybody, your friends and family and strangers alike?
No, just people I'm kind of like acquainted with.
Oh, okay.
But not, like, for instance, my wife. I wouldn't do that to her. But if I was like talking to like one of my colleagues, then yeah, probably something like that. I feel like that's a bad habit. Kind of makes me look like a E-word.
No, dude, I think that's a very Chadley habit. Imagine all of the time you could have spent wasted just listening to things you don't care anything about, especially in the workplace. I mean, that's a number one spot for listening to bullshit you don't care about.
Yeah, true. So you don't agree? That's not a bad habit.
Yeah, I mean, like, the alternative is just, I mean, you could be like a really nice guy. You're like, I'm going to try to figure out a way to make this interesting to me, and I'm going to really put all my whole effort into engaging in this conversation. But why do that with people who are just, your acquaintances? You should do that with people you like.
Yeah, good point. If I don't do it with people who actually matter in my life, it doesn't really affect me in any way.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Kind of
next thing you
more
know,
point of
you
view.
start listening to the story about their cats and how their cats got cancer. The next thing they're going to be saying, hey, can you watch my cats? Could you come over and feed them?
Yeah.
I've got to go out of town. That would
Yeah,
suck.
you're right. It gets tedious, especially like it's just like water cooler talk. It gets annoying.
Yeah, it's also people will just talk about, like whatever, like Twitter shit. Or just, whatever the trending topic is. Like, what's your opinion on the Iran drones going into Israel right now, dude?
Yeah, right. And I don't have this ability, but some people can just go on and on and on about themselves.
Yes.
I don't understand how some people can talk so damn much.
It is impressive. And on that note, we'll cut it off. So thanks for calling in.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye.
Call from
Trey.
Trey, hello.
Hey, what's up, Minute Hour?
Yo, dude, nothing much. We're on the call-in show. We're talking about bad habits today.
Yeah, I noticed. Fucking talked to you a couple times before. Talked about ghosts one time, and talked to you another time about something else.
Dose?
Ghosts.
Oh, ghosts. Okay, yes.
Like spooky fucking ghosts.
Yeah. I thought you were saying like dose, like a dose of drugs.
No, I do like that sometimes, but not so much. I'm getting older now.
What are your bad habits now?
My bad habits lately. I guess in older times they might be called really like harrowing good habits, good qualities. My habit lately is I've fallen on hard times right now, and I'm homeless. Trying to fix it right now. Trying to get a job. Trying to turn everything around. But I've moved into the ghetto, and a couple of my, let's call them roommates in my aunt's house are meth addicts, and things have come to a crescendo like multiple times, and my bad habit is I keep wanting to fucking get involved and like swoop in like Superman and do something when like everybody who owns the place is telling me to like not call the cops and don't get the cops involved, but they have meth on the place and they're fucking acting insane, and they got violent towards me already once. So
okay, so there's crazy meth person problems where you are living right now.
Yes.
What were they? What was the scenario where they were getting violent? They're just all hopped up on meth and they're like, "You fucking touched my meth!"
Well, I mean, they're two. So one's my aunt and the other is her lesbian girlfriend.
They're old lady meth heads?
Yes, like 60 years old.
Oh,
50 years old.
That's a whole different scenario.
It's like you can't make this stuff up, brother.
So how can you respond to that? How do you how you do it?
So here's what happened. So like they're screaming at each other, and I know that one of them, my aunt, has a history of violence, and it's kind of like got her other girlfriend in kind of a Stockholm syndrome type scenario, sadly.
Okay.
And
like a prisoner?
She like abuses her and shit, and like after she hit her, I heard this flesh smacking flesh sound. And when I tried to intervene in their last fight, and she just like, her girlfriend just like stormed out past me with tears in her eyes, and she just like left, and I'm just like, she hit you. I heard you. She's like, no, she didn't hit me. She didn't hit me. And I just like tried to like calm her down and everything, and she throws the fucking front door at me, like the wooden front door, like as hard as she can, and like I already have a bad wrist. So it fucking hurt my wrist pretty bad. And I just started screaming, "Oh, you're a fucking stupid bitch. Fucking calm the fuck down. Get the fuck out of here." And then like something came over me. It was like God himself spoke in my mind. And he was like, "Trey, just fucking walk away and leave." And that's what I did.
Yeah. What a blessing.
Yeah.
But you still got to go back there? You live there.
I'm here now. And they were still just fighting just a few minutes ago. I heard them fighting.
Can you put them on?
Trying to stir up shit. All right, fuck it. There we go. No,
Is it gonna work?
dude, like,
Oh, no.
honestly, these people are legitimately
Okay,
insane,
I
and
don't
they're
wanna put-
legitimately on meth. And yeah,
As entertaining as that sounds, I don't want to put you at risk.
I appreciate that.
This is
I appreciate that. I would also not want to put you at risk as well, because every time we've spoken, you're always fucking cool as shit.
Hey, thanks, man. All right, well, thank you for calling in, and I'm sorry to
okay,
hear
brother.
about your situation.
That shit happens. I'll get past this just like everything else, and all the best to you, and love everything you're doing right now, man.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one.
Later.
Oh, we're still
Call
going.
from
Jeff.
Jeff.
Hey.
Jeff? Yo, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, how you doing there, Minute Hour? Finally got on.
You never gotten on before? First time?
No, first timer over here, yeah.
Cool,
yeah,
dude.
Praise the Lord.
We're talking bad habits today, so now you can out yourself. What makes you a piece of shit?
Oh boy, a multitude of things, my friend. Multitude. But maybe I can narrow it down for you.
Please.
I was contemplating walking to the liquor store while I was trying to call you, but I'm like, nah. Probably stop that one. But, well, let's see. Well, I guess there's the obvious ones, like beer, of course.
How many times you drinking beer a week?
A week? Oh, well, how about a day? Would that make it easier for you?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, a day. Well, you see, I'm kind of one of those tradesmen, so I get home after a long shift out at the coal mine kind of thing, and I just crack a couple cold ones, and a couple leads to a couple more, and then after a while, I just don't really notice the effect of it anymore. I don't think it's alcoholism. It's more like high functioning alcoholism, you know?
What would you say, like, how long? So is it that you go to work, you get home, and then you drink until you pass out? Is that approximately
No,
correct?
not quite.
Okay.
I actually find it makes me a little more active. Like,
What's
I get
that
a little bit
window?
tired
How long
afterwards,
is that period where you're drinking?
Well, usually a couple hours, and I feel like I'm good after that, and then I'm mellowed out, sort of thing. But it's not a terribly chronic habit that I have. The vaping is probably the worst one, but I feel like I could probably come up with something a little more unique, and I do have one in mind.
Sure.
So this was a habit I cracked a long time ago, but I remember when I was in school, I get really nervous, right? See, I was homeschooled, right? And just at home all the time. And I used to have this very peculiar habit where if I had like a little pimple on my face, just like a little zit, something that's just screaming to be poked, I'd squeeze it, like a normal person would. But I'd squeeze it even after it's all gone, kind of thing. Like if I was like really worried about the test and I would study, I'd like keep poking at it and keep poking at it. Then eventually it would just kind of form this, this concerning growth kind of thing. And I remember I had to get the plastic surgeon to cut it out, and it's just like layers of all the scabby tissue.
Whoa.
And I kind of think back now that I'm an adult, I'm like, holy shit, why did I do that? It must be the hormones or something. But,
So it was just during your teenage year, like your school years?
yeah, exactly. That's kind of where that habit was at full swing,
You weren't vaping back then, right?
It dominated. Was that, sorry?
You replaced it with vaping, right?
Yeah, of course. That's when I started working, I was raised in a pretty straight-laced household, and pretty much day 2 on the job, I was like, oh, shit. These guys have all kinds of high-concentration nicotine devices. I wouldn't mind taking a little puff, and now I'm like 6 or 7 years into it. It's, I don't know. You look back and you think, wow, how far I've come through this habit. And yeah, it's just easier than smoking. You just do it anywhere, right?
Did you smoke when you were younger, or is vaping the beginning of what you're doing?
It was kind of like in tandem. So smoking and vaping kind of started at the same time. But I gave up smoking because it didn't taste as good. Because vaping, you have all these like funny cotton candy flavors and stuff. And for a young guy, it's a little more appealing.
Yeah, I've got a raspberry dragon fruit vape right now.
Oh, wow. What kind of mod you running here? Running a high wattage? Or?
No, dude, it's disposable.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine because that gives you the illusion that you're about to quit.
Exactly. It's like once this one runs out, I'm not going to go back immediately and buy another one. That would be crazy. I've only done that 100 times.
That would just be nonsensical. It's just not economical at all.
Do you think you'll ever stop vaping?
Gee, that's the kicker, man. See, I've been on and off over the years, and longest stint I've gone was like 5 months. I was pretty determined. And then, you know how it goes. You go to a party or something like that, and then people hand you the vape, and then you kind of get that taste. You get that thirst for the vape.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a craving. It's a constant craving. And, lately I've had people sort of like bum my vape off of me. So I kind of feel like I'm a shepherd, I'm like responsible for these people's addiction.
Shepherd is a nice way of putting that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there's probably some other ways of describing it, but it kind of feels like I have a purpose, and that's to spread it to the nation.
The proliferation of vapes.
Yeah,
You're proselytizing. Exactly, yeah. All right, well, hey, thanks for calling in, guy. Good to hear from you.
Hey, thanks a lot, pal. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure.
All right, bye-bye. Oh, I was trying to get the next call, but it immediately went away. Oh, and here it goes. Barbello. Should I even
Call
say
from
this?
Barbello Mysticism.
Oh, okay. Hello, Barbello Mysticism?
Yes. This is Droopy McCool.
Oh, yeah?
This is Droopy. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. This is Droopy McCool. Who's this?
This doesn't sound like Droopy McCool, but we'll just go.
Well, what do I need to say to convince you that?
Don't worry. No, nothing. We're talking about bad habits today. What's your bad habit, Droopy?
My bad habit is I eat compulsively. I gained 400 pounds and I'm bedbound now, and I have people that take care of me 24/7, and even then I can't stop eating.
What in particular? Do you eat anything compulsively, or do you have some weak spots?
Macaroni and cheese. They enable me. They make it for me, and
the people.
I just eat the ketchup. Very sugary, but I can't get enough of it. Shut the fuck up, you.
Wait, they're servants? Who are these people?
They're caretakers. They're caretakers.
Have you hired them? Where did they come from?
Yeah.
Oh. You hired people to feed you nonstop.
They kind of showed up. I think, they can sense something change in the wind when a man becomes bedbound. They just sort of make a pilgrimage over there. And that's how I found that.
You don't have to pay them. They're doing this for pleasure.
It's sort of, they're sort of taking a sabbatical year cleaning my ass because I can't do it. And making me Kraft mac and cheese. And I don't know their names.
So how long have they been there? They've been there for a year now?
They're taking a couple sabbatical years, a triptych of sabbatical years, 3 years.
Lord. How are you going to get out of this? Are you going to have to fight your way out or what? Like, is just mental willpower?
I'm on an assisted suicide program. This bed I'm on has wheels. They're going to roll me down and just dump me in the bay. That's pretty much it.
Are these your wishes?
They told me this was probably the best course of action for me.
Do you have any do you resist them at all? Is there any way to resist, or is it just they put the mac and cheese in front of you and you're helpless?
I think they're putting something in the mac and cheese, but it's so good I can't contain myself. I can't stop myself. And I used to be a big drawer. Now they put paper in front of me. I'm like carbs. I eat it right away. I can't eat. I can't draw.
Is there anything you can do?
I post. I'm a big Redditor. I'm a big Reddit poster. Really like writing up a thread and seeing what the court of public opinion has to say about my marital disputes, stuff like that.
So you're still being productive?
productive in a way, in a really sick kind of way.
Do you recall, like a hot Reddit thread you posted lately? Do you get a lot of attention, or are you kind of shouting into the void?
I posted my everyday carry on everyday carry. I'm a big everyday carrier, but of course I'm bedbound, so I can't carry much.
What is your everyday carry?
Magical charms. My everyday carry is mostly my mojo bag that I got in Louisiana.
What does that mean?
I have, it's a bag full of tricks and shenanigans to give me sexual power, to make me a sexual WMD, a weapon of mass destruction. I have goat testicles that were tied off. Very aromatic, pungent, powerful aphrodisiac.
Like
a monkey's paw, which I unfortunately I ate that.
Good Lord. You can't, I mean, you didn't eat the goat testicles though. That's just like an air freshener for your bag?
They were too hard. I coughed them up. I can't. My teeth could find no purchase in the leathery nutsack of a goat.
Has this worked? Have you noticed an increase in sexual conquests from these items? How do you use them? Do you throw them at? Do you bring them out with a potential sex partner, or are they just for private use?
I've found I'm having more luck with back page hookers. They're actually showing up. And they're riding me, my big fat body, I just give it a good sniff and I get energized. It's like smelling salts.
Wow. Do your caretakers assist in any way during this, or are they
watch? They make sure she can straddle me. I'm very big. It's like straddling a horse. If you fall, it could be a big issue. So they have steps and ladders, and they watch. They make sure it's no foul play.
Wow. All right. Well, hey Droopy, thanks for calling in. It was good to hear from you.
Oh, good to hear from you. No problem. Bye bye.
Bye. Just a totally normal guy there. We've all been there. We've all been bedridden with a team of caretakers feeding us drugged mac and cheese and fixing our whores for us. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. The music from the stream is from the SoundCloud called Breadfruit, which is some secondary SoundCloud for some band called Don't Look Down, which I guess they do kind of like more electronica stuff. I like this Breadfruit stuff because it was other kind of music that I liked. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break now. We'll be back in just 3 minutes with more calls. Okay, stop that. All right, fucking God damn it. Okay, we're back. This is the call-in show. Call in now. We're talking about bad habits. 518-288-7938. Tell me about your bad habits, or maybe you got a friend with bad habits, or a family member with bad habits. So one guy called in, said his bad habit was getting involved with his methy aunt and her lesbian lover. It seemed like they had the bad habits, really.
Call from
Jim.
Jim, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right, brother. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. We're talking about bad habits today.
Yeah, you know, I've had a few bad habits in my time. Oh, brother.
Would you mind digging up those painful memories for us, Jim?
Yeah, you know, I've gone through my share of booze and had some fun nights out with the fellers and put some cigarettes down and sampled a few other drugs. But, you know, I'd like to think the good habits outweigh the bad habits, but sometimes, man, I don't know. Those bad habits weigh down on your soul.
In what way? Are you up at night thinking about the horrible things you've done, or are there you have a child or something? Is that a bad consequence of a habit?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'm trying to cut back on the booze. I don't know if I'm making any progress on that, but you know, I do have my first child's on the way. He'll be due here soon, and I'm trying to get straightened up for him. You know, my father, he was a pretty bad feller. I always hoped I'd be a good father for my boy, and I got me a son on the way, and I got to straighten up a little bit. I don't know if you remember, I kind of got a little bit of deviancy involved with people working on vehicles, and I've been trying to work on that.
I do vaguely recall. Was it that you enjoyed sexually stimulating yourself with the car parts? Was that it?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't really aware of it at first. You kind of helped me realize that about one of the first times I called in. You know, you kind of helped me navigate that process. And I think that's the first step, you know, acknowledging you have a problem. If you don't know, you kind of just keep feeding into that habit, you know. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. So you just keep going on and feeding it until it gets out of hand. So that helped me figure out, you know, I had something going on.
But the badness is in the eye of the beholder. So, you know, I can't tell you what's a bad habit. It has to do with, you know, your experience in your life. Was doing sexy things with cars affecting your life in a negative way?
I think so. I mean, you know, it was okay at first. I think most habits are manageable. Excuse me. At a certain level, you know, you start out slow and it's not that big a deal, but then after a while you keep feeding into it. A habit's like a skill. It's something you just keep feeding and building on to.
And you can level it up and turn it into a career, like a skill.
I think so. I mean, there was something they used to say in the military. They used to say, motivation is fleeting, but discipline is the foundation for skill. You know, I try to put on motivational videos, and I'll get hyped up for a little bit. You know, I'll hear people say, you know, you got to do this and you got to do that. And for a day or two, you know, it'll work, but then that kind of wears off after a while because I think really a behavior, you know, something you do for a while is it takes time to undo. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So
I'm working on it, you know.
You're just trying to change everything then? Is there a do you have a foundation in there that you want to stick to?
I think so. You know, I think it got out of hand. You know, most habits, you know, like drinking or smoking, like some of these fellas have mentioned, you know, it gets to a point where it affects your life. You know, it takes away from how you affect others and interact with life, and it wears down on not just you but other people. So I've realized that. I'm trying to work on it a little bit. You know, I went from going to strange facilities to have people work on my vehicle to just trying to get that back in line, working on my own,
I don't know if you should be working on vehicles. I think that's I don't know. Maybe you should separate yourself from vehicles entirely.
I tried, I realized it got to a point, there was a local high school and they were taking junkers for clunkers. They were pulling them in, they'd have them want to teach kids how to work on vehicles, and I just kept grabbing them. They had some kind of organization. They were doing a charity for some Zeb Hoggerty or some kid passed away. I figured, I'd get some vehicles in for them, and I realized, what the fuck am I doing, man? I'm just going above and beyond to support this habit, and I don't need to be. It's not necessary.
What do you hope for your son? Yeah, I know you want to set a good example for this, the coming son that's coming out of a woman. A woman? Did you impregnate a woman?
I impregnated the missus. She's got the baby. We just hit our 24-week mark.
You got a wife?
I do have a wife.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
So is she into your habits there? Is she the angel or the devil on your shoulder?
Well, they say behind every decent man is a strong woman, and I tell you, she's been really supportive of me. She's been understanding, and she's been trying to subtly and not overbearingly direct me in the right way, and I think that's critical. People need a support system. It's hard to do things on your own. It's possible. Will is the ultimate definer in these things. You can overcome your addictions and your habits, but it really helps to have somebody there with you saying, hey, it's okay. Here's where you're at. Here's where I hope you can be. And I think that's going to make all the difference, brother.
I mean, it sounds like you're all set then. You got a person there who's going to help you. You're bringing in a new person into the world. I believe in you 100%.
I appreciate that, Mr. The Minute Hour. You've helped me a lot. I've called in a few times, and God bless you, man.
All right. You have a great day now.
Oh, you too.
Bye-bye. All right. You can call in now, 518-288-7938. What are your bad habits? Or, turn the whole topic on its ear. Tell me why bad habits are actually good habits or something. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you're going to say.
Call from
Jericho.
Jericho, hello.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good. We're talking about bad habits today. You got a bad habit?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad habit, but it's kind of a bad habit for my own sake. I have a bad habit of not being able to tell my work no when it comes to them calling me in on my days off.
Classic.
Yeah, it's kind of a stupid thing, but every time they call in saying, hey, we need some extra help or whatever, I feel like Dante from the movie Clerks. I'm just like, yeah, I'll be there, man. Just give me a minute.
Have you ever said no? Has there ever been a time where what you were doing currently was more important than going to work?
Yeah, there was one time here just recently I had to tell him to kick rocks for that day, but yeah, we still have priorities with family and stuff for sure. Don't you worry, but
so you had
there's definitely there.
You had a family emergency of some sort?
Oh, no, it wasn't an emergency, nothing like that. We just, my sister wanted to go spend some time with her aunt, so we're like, all right, let's go do that instead of work today. That sounds a lot more fun.
That's nice. So it's not consuming you, but you're upset with yourself for going in too often? Like, do you feel like you're pushed around, or is it just
Just more of like a personal, like, hey, I just feel like obligated more or less to just show up pretty much. I don't know. I like extra money for sure in my pocket. Bigger paychecks, people happier days.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. Come on, give me a worse habit than that.
I mean,
what are you doing in your off hours and you're not at work? What sort of disgusting shit are you up to?
Shit, man, I don't really I don't really do anything, honestly. I'm currently just sitting here watching YouTube.
What about your work buddies? What about your work buddies? Do they tell you horrible, horrible things that they do?
I mean, no, not really. My buddy Trevor just tells me more with jokes all day, which, I mean, we definitely tell each other some pretty terrible things just to help the day go by, but it's never anything like serious or whatever. But yeah, it's just dark humor pretty much all day.
Well, you sound like a pretty well-adjusted guy then.
I appreciate that, man, but...
boring!
Yeah,
that's not who we're talking to on the show today, dude. You better pull something out right now. Come on, give us the fucking grossest, weirdest shit. What?
I'll tell you my dad's worst habits.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, Ben. He's a severe tweaker. He's been on meth for about 27 to 30 years now.
Oh my God, that's got to be almost the record.
Habitual offender of several crimes. So, I mean, if you want a list, I'm sure I could pull one.
Yeah, from a police database.
And just from like personal memory / history, yeah.
So you've managed to avoid falling into the horrible bad habit rut, even though your dad was like that?
Yeah, I actually never really like hung around him or anything like that, so it was never really around me per se, but he was just not really a guy I really wanted to be around in the first place. So I was like, yeah, prefer to stick with the habits that I'm good at.
But he's around, he's out there somewhere. Are you in any contact with him?
No, I told him to kick rocks when I was like 19. I basically, he tried, for my birthday, he sent me, rather than like a, hey, happy birthday, love you, how's it going kind of a message, he sent me instead a, hey, do you want to buy some Mexican rags and towels? I can give you a good bundle for like $6. You can get like 5. I was like, that's, no, Dad. So I was like, how about the next thing you send me is like your obituary or something there, dude, because like I'm not down for this anymore.
That's like that's rough. That's like similar to like if someone sent you just like a Venmo cash request on your birthday.
Yeah, for real though. I'm like, dude, I don't want to support your bad habits just because you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. All right, well,
yeah, there's the term bad habits.
All right, so bad habits do exist. You haven't. You've done a good job escaping them. Now, if your bad habit is like I gotta go to work all the time because I feel like going to work when I get called in.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably like I said. My other bad habit, I guess, is speeding. I speed a lot whenever I'm driving.
Hell yeah, that's perfectly normal. That's good for you.
Yeah. I'm actually teaching my buddy how to drive right now, and I told him that the speed limits are more or less a suggestion than an actual like option. You know, they're just there.
They're like the minimum.
Exactly. It's just kind of like if you want to do this, you can, but you can probably go faster.
If you've got the guts.
Yeah, if you got the goods, if you got the ability, your car won't fucking shit out on you.
Right. All right, well, hey, man, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Good hearing from you.
Yeah, good to hear from you, too. Bye-bye.
Call from
Quate.
Quate.
Oh!
We're talking bad habits today, Quate.
Yes, I have bad habits.
Like what?
I pop pimples.
How often? What are we talking? Do you really get in there?
I really get in there. My hands crawl up and down, in and out, all around, at all times. And they do it without my consent, without my knowledge. And when they find something a little raised or something a little different, they'll pull and squeeze until nothing's left, until blood is left, actually, and then sometimes nothing after that.
Is it just on the face, or are you going full body scout?
Full body. I don't, Dr. Quate is aging, and my acne has reduced over time.
Sure.
But I definitely still get some on the back, on the shoulders.
How do you get that?
Weirdly enough, on the arms. Huh?
How do you get that?
You don't get those
on the back. How do you get the back?
I'm very flexible.
What are you talking about, dude? There's no way.
Yeah, I can reach. You know that thing where you reach your arms and you can touch behind your back?
Uh-huh.
You can't do that?
You can do that with the precision enough to pop a little 1 millimeter pimple?
Absolutely. And the ones on the back are a little bigger usually too. It's the I do get a couple little whiteheads or something on the face or whatever, so I'll obviously do those. But on the back, yeah, they get bigger. They're white, big old clunkers. And
right. Well, I'm familiar with the problem.
I can stop if I think about it, but I just don't even know I'm doing it.
I love the feeling, obviously I get a sick satisfaction from popping pimples like everyone else. But
yes.
When do you take it too far? Do you take it too far, and what do you do? How do you stop yourself from that?
When I was an adolescent, I would park in front of the mirror and just go to town in a trance. Did you ever do that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, even not with pimples, but just squeezing nose cheese out.
Yes, I still do that, the nose cheese, and my nose has suffered for it. I've noticed among noses, mine is one of the more rigid. I didn't ever touch a nose until I was 22 or something, and I thought all noses were as rigid as mine. But no, they're apparently all really squishy.
Oh, so you think you've scarred over your whole nose?
I bet so. And I have a pore that's bigger because of it.
One pore?
Yeah, one pore that got so damaged that it's just bigger now. So much of the cheese has escaped it that it's just stuff like that.
But none of that's gonna stop you.
I don't think so, man. It's a OCD type of thing. It's just if I'm struggling to think of something, if I'm working hard or busy doing something, my hands start to wander. I'm usually at work, so I can't exactly put my hand down the pants. You know what I mean? So instead, they go under the shirt and squeezing around.
So that's your competing habit is chronic masturbation.
Right. So if I'm alone, then all bets are off, obviously, and sometimes it goes another way.
So you're a man who loves pleasure.
I think I'm addicted.
You love the pleasure you get from popping pimples and from doing the other thing. But what about have you ever considered hard drugs?
I haven't. I've never really given it a thought. Should I do it?
I mean, people seem to consider them to be among the most pleasurable items in the world.
I do have a bad habit of drinking alone a lot. In fact, here we go with another White Claw. Gonna pull it right out. 3, 2, 1, ready?
You're drinking White Claws alone?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
It's a bad habit I have.
It's weird. You got to drink a lot of White Claws to get to, lonely drunk level.
That is true. The problem in New York is that, as you know, because it's a state thing, you can't buy the liquor in the same place as the beer. And so every place around me just sells beer. I can't find the liquor at the time of day I want it.
You know what's even, New York has some problems there. Massachusetts is even worse. I'm in Canada right now, and it's even worse than anywhere in America because there's no alcohol at all in any grocery or corner store. They have to only be specific liquor stores that have any kind of alcohol, including beer and White Claw.
It's horrible.
It's insane. I just want to go to the store, get my mac and cheese and my beer, and then I'm done for the week.
Same time. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's funny, as backwards as California is in all regards, the one thing they got it right. You can go to fucking Safeway, to CVS.
You can go to CVS
to the drugstore.
Get a giant liquor bottle, yeah.
Big old jug of whiskey, just for you. That's your drug.
And I remember they all had the little security tops, like they were electronics in Target.
Yeah, that started to happen towards the end of my time there. Yeah. They started putting the big old fucking boots on them. Is that what they call them? Boots?
Yeah.
So that's another bad habit. I guess I haven't tried hard drugs, but I like alcohol, so I'll probably like it. I'll give it a shot. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think that's a good start, but you should go harder. You should go a lot harder.
Yeah, you're thinking. What are they all on now? The crocodile? No.
Oh yeah.
One that makes your face fall off.
mean, there's like fentanyl is a big one, but yeah, I've heard a little bit about crocodile. Is that like a make you go crazy energy? Maybe do you want energy or do you want to chill?
Both at once, because I love mixing caffeine and alcohol. That's the best combo known to man. So what's the equivalent of caffeine and alcohol for hard drugs?
That's a great question, but I don't feel equipped to answer.
They haven't even
We'll
invented it yet.
look to the chat for that. But hey, Quate, thanks for calling in.
Absolutely. Good
to hear
talking
from
to you.
you,
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, man. All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Thomas.
Whoa.
Thomas, we're talking about bad habits today.
Yeah, man. I figured, this one's kind of mundane a little bit, but maybe I take it to a weird place. But I'm a pretty severe nail picker and biter. I do that constantly.
You pick and peel fingernails?
Yes, exactly. More picking and peeling than biting, honestly. Sometimes I'll bite to get an edge free. What?
I've never understood biting, but you're actually just explaining it to me. You bite to start the process?
Yeah, exactly. Because my fingernails, because they are picked to the not the bone, but I pick off the main picking part, right? I can't really pick my other fingernails all that efficiently.
True.
Unless I've got a good starting point, like a break, right? So all it takes here and there is a little nibble. So
this is giving me
break off a little piece.
Horrible flashbacks right now. Because I used to pick my nails when I was a kid. When I was little, I used to pick them.
Yeah,
and
it used to be much worse.
Just remembering that, needing to get a good start on it so you could peel the rest effectively. But
oh yeah, and sometimes you bite because you can only be so precise with your biting that sometimes you bite a chunk that's way too big, and you've got the start off, and that if you pull off that entire strip, it's gonna fucking hurt. But you can't just leave a half pulled strip on your finger. Right?
No.
What are you going to do? You're going to walk around with a half,
it's going to get snagged.
The gates. Yeah. You've got to finish her off. And it's I'm not going to go fetch the nail clippers and fucking just awkwardly cut this half bit off just so I don't have to deal with that. No, I'm going to peel the whole strip.
Do you own nail clippers?
I do now. I didn't have a pair until I got a girlfriend. And she thought that was insane. So, yeah. So
you're doing fingers and toes. Fingers and toes.
So, yeah. So, honestly, my toes never got that out of hand. So, I want to get to the sort of crazy part of this habit. I don't really... So, okay. Something I'll do, and this is sort of tied to the last guy. I'll do this kind of unconsciously, which is once I've picked the nail... most people would just flick that bitch away.
This is the fingernail or the toenail?
Fingernail.
Okay.
So I'll have a fingernail, and what I'll do sometimes is I'll stick it between my teeth. Yes, Tony, I can hear you. Yes. Yeah, I know. So just between my bottom front two teeth. And the issue with that is the gap is not that large. And so what will happen more often than not is it will.
Wait, why do you do that? This is before we get to that.
I don't know.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. There's some sick pleasure. It's what you were saying before. There's some sick pleasure I derive from it.
Okay, so it's inexplicable. It just happens. It's not in your control.
Exactly. And every time it happens, and every time the fingernail inevitably gets stuck in there, because I can't just stop doing it
wedged
until it gets stuck. It gets wedged because the gap. I don't have gap teeth. I've got pretty tight gaps.
You could fit a lot of fingernails in there if you had a nice gap.
I know, and they would never get stuck. It would be great.
Sorry, what happened?
But it gets stuck, and then I try to pick it out because it's stuck in between my teeth. But I can't because all my other nails are fucked.
Right.
So I'm
It's
just
too
sitting
late.
there struggling until I find like a piece of floss somewhere, or it just eventually like shakes out on its own. But it's so horrible that like when it gets stuck, it sucks so bad that like every time I'm like, I swear to God, I'll never do this again. But it's sort of like an unconscious thing where I just have the fingernail in my hand, and then suddenly I'm just like, I guess it's in my fucking whatever, in between my teeth.
That's disgusting. You should be
I know, and
ashamed
then
of
so
yourself.
I am. I really kind of am. But here's the really disgusting part. I've not done this in like over a decade. But when I was a kid, I would stick a toenail between my teeth.
Wait,
I
how do you get
know.
the fingernail out in the present day?
A piece of floss.
Okay, you do it's floss. You don't resort to like a different nail.
Okay, so I've done that before.
Okay.
It doesn't normally go well. If like I'm out and about and there's no floss around, I'm trying everything. Last time it happened, there's a podcast with Eric where we begin the podcast and it's happened, and I'm like sitting there finicking with my teeth, and I asked Eric for his straw from his coffee so I could just shove the straw between my teeth and get it free.
I do actually recall this podcast. You guys were in the car for that one, right?
Yes, correct. So
yeah, and I remember
just like
when I
to
heard
ground
this.
this in reality, I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah, I remember when I heard this initially. It was horrifying. I was so grossed out. But I appreciate your bravery for sharing this with the world.
Yeah, okay. I have one more bad habit to share.
Okay.
And it's super quick, and it's that I need to plug my book because it's out now. So go buy my book. It's out on it's at mammothinn.space. My bad habit is I like to read. And you can read too at mammothinn.space. I just put out a promo video for my book today, and it's out, and you can go buy it.
That's Thomas Mammoth of Mammoth in Space, and he fucking picks his fingernails and puts them in his teeth for some reason, and also he wrote a book that you can read.
And if I get enough sales, I'll stop doing it.
All right, thanks for calling in, Thomas.
Yeah, see you, dude.
All right. Who's this?
Call from
Connor.
Connor?
Yeah, hey.
How's it going?
First time going good. How are you?
Good. I thought you were a Connor that I knew in real life, but you're not. Never mind.
I know too many Connors, and they all spell it with ER. That's one bad habit. I want to like
ER Connor?
I'm an OR. No, I'm an OR.
Okay.
Thank fuck. Like that's a bad habit. Like I want to violently hurt people with the ER. Not at the ER, but with the ER.
Yeah. But what's your bad habit?
Fun. My main bad habit, and it's really funny because it's the same as the last guy's. I am a horrible finger biter, but biting specifically, right? And it's always at night. I will run like my thumb across my fingers, like it's skating around a little ice rink, and if there's any like rigidity there, I can't stop thinking about it. It'll just get stuck in my mind, and it'll just play on repeat. Like it's sharp. It's like a jagged mountaintop, and I want to fix it. And I can't stop thinking about it until it gets fixed. And I can't sleep. I can't think about anything else. It needs to be fixed. So I will bite it. I will tear into the cuticle until it's all gone.
Ouch. Yeah. Wait. So how long have you been doing this?
So I started the first time I can remember ever doing it is when I was very young, and I was a very little bad boy, right? And my parents would stick me in the corner, right, like in timeout, and I would be so angry, and all I could do is like think like violently, but all I had was like myself. So I would just I would look at my hands, and I would see my fingernails there. And I would
This
just
is my
go ham.
canvas.
I am an artist.
Mm-hmm. So Then, if you've been doing it for so long, you must have, refined your techniques, your methods.
Yes. Yeah. So the last guy, he talked about having like tight gaps. I don't. I should have gotten braces, but I didn't. Right. So it's not like horrible.
So you got a lot of storage space.
Yeah, there's like some wiggle room there, right? And in fact, once it's off, I could even like stick one there just for later.
Sorry, it's just gross.
I'll have some wiggle room there. I'll like kind of press it against the side and use it as leverage to just peel off as hard as I can. Usually, and it's interesting because there's different methods for different fingers. Like with the pinky, right? Like you go from the how would you describe it? Like the corner, right? And then like kind of peel along the ridge, right? Whereas like with the index finger, you kind of there's like 4 corners, right? You start at like the upper left corner, and I'm talking about like my right hand, of course, because like left-handed people are goddamn fucking sinners, and they belong with the ERs.
Explain real quick. 4 corners. I'm looking at my nail right now. 4 corners.
Yeah.
I'm seeing like two corners on the part of the nail that I want to chop off.
So if you kind of look at it, right, like you have the at the base, right, or like where the skin starts,
the cuticle.
Right? Well, yeah, the cuticle, and well, that's like the right side and the left side. Those are 2 separate corners. Whereas like at the ridge, right, and the other side of the ridge, those are the upper corners, right.
But you're not gonna you're not gonna start gnashing on the upper cuticle corners, are you?
Well, with the index finger, it's like strongest if you do, because you can really get in there and tear off some skin with it.
Oh my god, dude, that sounds bad. What about like hangnails? Like, you ever like start ripping a piece of nail off and you're just like, oh, I made a huge mistake, but now it's already 75% gone.
It gushes blood. It just leaks like a river. And sometimes, and of course, if I do it during the night, it's like terribly painful the next day. But I almost think it's some form of OCD, because there is just a wave of gratification after I like feel like I'm finished. I look at my masterpiece. I just run my fingers along that nice ice rink again, and just feel how smooth that ice is. Right? But the next day, you might notice like a hangnail, right? And that's the worst, because then you're in class or whatever, and you notice it there, and it's that same kind of, like, and usually if it's, in class or something, right? Like, you'll have other things to distract you. But you still, like, it's there, and you have to fix it. So you peel, and it's a hangnail, so it's skin, so it's just blood all over the table, and it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna like wipe it on my little like handout or whatever? I don't. So you either like suck it, which you look like a fucking idiot with your finger in your mouth, which be that as it may, or you wipe it on something and you just get blood everywhere.
Wait, so what do you do? What's the play?
It's kind of a case-by-case basis thing. Like, if it's not like an important paper, if it's something I'm just gonna throw away later, I'll do it on that.
Some paper can be sacrificed.
Yeah, it's not all paper is created equal. And if not, you kind of try and like hide your face. Like, if I'm wearing a hoodie, I'll kind of like cower in the corner like a little meek little boy in timeout, and just suck my finger. But that little do they know
the masterpiece that's going on.
They'll never understand.
All right, well, hey, thanks for calling in. That was disgusting.
Thanks for having me. I appreciated it. Have a good one.
You too. Oh, good Lord. It reminds me too much, because I was a nail picker and peeler when I was younger, but I had to stop because there was so much collateral damage, and just I too vividly can remember it to hear these stories. They're too gross.
Call from
Logan.
Logan, how's it going? We're talking about bad habits.
It's good, man. Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, cool. What's your bad habit? Oh, what?
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. I want to contribute to this nail conversation.
Oh, good. Okay.
I found that the best time to pick your toenails is right after a shower.
Because they're kind of softened up.
They've softened up, and it just makes for like easier access.
That I've noticed that can be true, but it can also that can be a high risk, high reward situation because they're so soft. You might peel them weird, like maybe
the toenails. It don't matter how you peel them.
Yeah,
as long as you don't like get so deep, I guess.
I've got a weird one right now. I was peeling my big toenail, my right foot, and kind of got like a jagged edge. And now whenever I put a sock on or like the blankets are running over, it gets snagged.
Dude, the thumb toenails are like the best toenails to pick. They got the most material.
Am I just total amateur for having this issue?
No, I mean, I don't know. How long have you been picking your toenails?
All right, let's not talk about that. All right, that was your tip for nail picking.
Yeah, that's just my contribution to the toenail conversation. But another note about showers, I guess one of my bad habits is I got a lot of hair. And what I like to do with my hair in the shower is after I've like gone through a shampoo, conditioner, whatever, all that hair is clinging to your hand. I'll just like take it and like wad it up and stick it on the side of the shower.
For later to throw it out?
I mean, it sticks there for a few days. It eventually falls off. I call it physical graffiti.
So do you keep adding to the wad?
I mean, I'll add to the mural, I see. One wad at a time.
Where does it go? You say it falls off. Does that mean it falls into the bath down the drain?
Sure, it like falls onto the ground, and I'll pick it up then and there, but most of the time I'll just keep it on the side of the shower wall.
What's like how long have you gone? What's been the max period, the biggest mural you've created? How many days?
I'm looking at my shower now. Now the mural is very tiny. I guess it's all grouped onto the floor. Looking like, I gotta wash this shower mat too. That's another bad habit. Avoiding the shower mat.
We forget you can wash that.
I mean, I assume it gets washed while I'm in the shower, but looking at it now,
All right, so is this the main bad habit? Is just this is a long-haired dude thing.
Yeah,
dudes have long hair. It's
another
like
long-haired dude habit. It's a fun habit rather, where I've got carpet in my apartment, so I fucked up my vacuum cleaner like the first week I got it. I got a lot of hair, and it just clogged that shit up.
Okay.
So I don't even own a vacuum cleaner now. So what I'll do is I'll put on my shoes inside my apartment, and I'll just shuffle around with like my shoes on the ground, like I'm generating static electricity. And I'll just like roll my hair up into wads.
Oh.
And I'm doing it now. Oh yeah.
You're doing a dry vacuum run?
Yeah, well, it's like sweeping. So I don't even own a vacuum cleaner. I just have a broom. So like I'll just sweep, all the shit on the ground, and then I'll just, scrape my feet along the ground, pick up all this hair. And dude, I did this just like the other week, and I'm already getting like giant second dust bunnies.
All right, so this is a long time problem. You figured out a low effort solution. A low energy solution. No electricity required.
Saving the planet, one shuffle at a time. everyone should do this, whether they got long curly hair, short hair. Throw out your vacuum cleaner, just shuffle along your carpet.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
All you need is shoes. Yeah, man.
All right.
I
Appreciate
love
it.
your material. Long-time fan. Keep it up.
Thank you, man. Have a
Good
good one. All right. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to go back to the music from Breadfruit. The link to this SoundCloud album is in the description of this video. So if you like this music, just look in the description and you will find the link to everything I'm playing totally free from Breadfruit. Stop. No. Okay. This is going to be the last portion of the call-in show. You can call in now. It's 518-288-7938. We're talking about bad habits. Oh, yeah, another one. I love cracking my bones. All my bones. My fingers, my toes, my knees, my neck. Everything. I read an article that said that's fine.
Call from
Oboe.
Bobo? Hello?
Yeah. Hey. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Bobo?
Hey. Oboe, not Bobo.
Obone?
Yeah. Oboe.
Oh, like the instrument.
Yeah.
Okay, Oboe. We're talking about bad habits. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, shit, man. First, excuse my French. I know this is a family program.
Yeah.
Just want to say thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. You know, I've been listening to the show since the beginning.
Oh, sweet.
Practically, with the talk about your job stream and like talk about religion and food. Those were some really good ones.
Yeah, those are the old ones.
Yeah, I haven't listened to anything since. Well, haven't listened to much in between then and now. I have a lot to go back to listen to.
You don't got to mention that. Let's just pretend you've listened to every episode.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely going to.
What are your bad habits? Oboe.
All right, I got a list of them because I saw the notification you're streaming. So I hey, every time I see this, I want to call in and talk. So, but then I can't think of what to say, and it just hit me. I just write some shit down.
All right, now you got it.
In my
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll have. I'm going for the record here. It's like materialism. That is maybe. What do you think about that?
You love buying things.
Not. Well, that's part of it. Sure, collecting things are getting too consumed into the physical.
Like what? Give us an example.
You know what I'm saying?
No, give me an example.
Like just collecting
Funko Pops.
Hell no.
Tell me.
Like when a hobby turns into a obsession. How about that? Like you're focusing too much on
hentai.
The things. or one of my hobbies is I like to go to flea markets or antique stores, and like I can just spend all day there. And it's like, the thing. It's just like the things that don't really matter in life.
What do you get? Tell us anything that you
it's like
collect.
Random shit, like things like I don't even know. Like you ever looked at an I Spy book and there's all this shit and it just looks cool? I'm looking for stuff like that. Like I'm always looking for unique or interesting things to put on my fridge. I got like maybe like lamps, or lanterns to put decorate my house with. But anyway, let's just move on to another bad habit.
I feel like we
okay,
didn't.
This is
all right. Whatever. Go on.
It's like either you know or you don't know, but it's like forgetting to be humble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the arrogance. Like all I know is that I know nothing. And it's like.
But you forget that sometimes. What's an example?
Yeah. Oh, like everyday life, I'm sure. Like you run into people, and it's like, or maybe you're at work and you're like, "Fuck these people. These people suck," or like everyone's stupid. Or you just want to like.
Oboe, I need a specific example. Just this is your life that you're talking about. You should be able to think of.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being too broad. I'm being like maybe even.
I mean, it's good to start broad, but just give me just let's narrow it in on one of these.
Like
what happened?
What happened? Well, probably like every week, you go to work, and like you maybe there's some people that get on your nerves a lot, and you just really don't like them. But it's like you need to be humble.
What are people like you? What are people talking about that puts you in this frenzied state?
Oh, maybe they're just being a dick, or like they're just like or maybe like your supervisor's power tripping. It's like, come on, we're just a team, and it's like you just can't let them get on your nerves. And like if you can tell when someone's getting pissed off, and then like you got to be around that, and that's pissing you off. And that's like sort of a bad habit that like maybe you don't realize every time. But let's move on to like eating too much sugar.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
But what is it? People are pissing you off, and so you got to remember to be humble. Like I'm not better than this guy, so I'm gonna just not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
so
I'm not
it's
a
about
perfect person
anything.
I'm not really better than anybody. That's how I see it.
Okay, what's the next one?
Eating too much sugar. Like this is a pretty bad one. I think some other callers touched on this, but it's like it's refined sugar. Sugar cane. That shit's like a drug in a way.
What's your go-to sugary sweet?
Probably like chocolate. That's like the best. There's a little bit of caffeine in chocolate. There's the other chemicals that they say like chocolate, like eating chocolate makes you feel like you're in love. And it's just like sometimes when I'm at work or at home, I eat some chocolate. It feels like I'm hitting up a drug. Like it's ridiculous. Like I'm trying to eat less sugar every day, or to just trying to forgo sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's too much sometimes. Like I could just sit here and just eat way too much sugar. and I'm a skinny guy somehow. One of my favorite things is ice cream. Just getting the sugar off of ice cream, eating a whole bunch of ice cream. Like one of my favorite places to go is like with the family. Is to go to the ice cream parlor. We have dinner, and then we all get some ice cream. And they give you like big old scoops of ice cream, and everyone else is full, and like they can't finish it. But I eat all mine, and then I'm eating everyone else's ice cream. It's like, hell yeah, that's the best. That's like ecstasy right there. That's like pure bliss.
But you have you reach that point later on where you're like, those shouldn't have done that.
Not really. Somehow, I don't know. It's nuts.
So maybe that's your purpose. Like if you can just eat ice cream and still be skinny and
is to consume, to devour.
Yeah,
that's sort of like a primal animal feeling, just to devour, destroy.
I love
eat as much as you can, get all that energy to survive.
Because you don't know when your next meal, your next ice cream bowl is gonna be.
Yeah.
I love milkshakes because you can, you can have like a whole pint of ice cream and you can just suck it down in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, I'm getting on that right now. Tonight it's bad. I got 2 Blizzards from Dairy Queen. I threw those in a blender. I put a coffee protein shake in it, so it's like 1 cup of coffee, and then some Chi-Chi's Mexican mudslide in it, so some alcohol.
Whoa!
And that's like a nut. We're getting nuts tonight. It's like a nut crazy milkshake.
That's a great recipe. That's
Yeah, try it out, man.
You buy 2 Blizzards, add some coffee, add some Mexican What is Mexican about this mudslide?
Well, there used to be this restaurant chain called Chi-Chi's, a Mexican restaurant. They're defunct now in America. There might be some. I heard there's restaurants in New Zealand, but that's not important. But their chips, they have a brand of chips that's still in grocery stores, and this brand of liquor that you can find in some liquor stores, some grocery stores. And it's just like a chocolatey milkshake flavored liquor. It goes great in ice cream. It's wonderful.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, thanks for calling in today.
Yeah. Hey, man, before you let me go, I just want to thank you for everything you do. I could probably talk to you all night right now. Could I get you to put all your episodes on Spotify somehow? Like,
the reason I can't do it is just because of there's a ton of copyrighted music that's used in the old Minute Hour stuff and Spotify. I had all my stuff on Spotify at one point and they removed it because of copyright shit. So I'm sorry.
Man.
Sorry. I'll try to make more stuff without copyrighted music. That's what I should do.
But yeah, dude, I wish you were on the radio. It would be sweet if you had your own radio show with Tim. Do you remember Tim from the early episodes? You would call in and talk about stuff.
We haven't heard from Tim in so long. Terrible.
Yeah, you and him would be like a great co-host.
All right, well, thank you, man. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one, dude. Bye. Okay, 518-288-7938. We are in the last portion of the call-in show. We're talking about bad habits. We got another caller right now.
Call from June.
June?
Hey, how's it going?
Yo, June. This is the Minute Hour. We're talking about bad habits today.
Hell yeah. My bad habit is I've been smoking lately. I've never been a smoker, but lately I've just been kind of smoking more than I ever have before.
Nicotine smoke, tobacco smoke?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the other kind too, but that's never been a problem for me.
How old are you? You're just getting into nicotine now. How old are we talking?
I'm 25. I would have a cigarette when I was 18, 19, when I was drunk or at a show or something. But yeah, it wasn't until this year that I started really smoking. And it's been such an interesting experience. I had this shitty job that I despised in retail. And it was the first time I started smoking just because I was fuck this. I just want something to make my brain feel like not shitty.
Mm. And smoking was doing that?
Oh, totally. Because I was like, my job sucks. I just want to step outside the like back door and have a cigarette and like forget that I'm working retail again.
How much of it is, and be honest, how much of it is the aesthetic of, I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a cigarette, I'm going to be super cool, nobody else here is smoking, I'm the person, I'm the boss.
You know, that's definitely like a huge chunk of it. Like, I'll be the first to admit I'm a huge fucking hipster. And I just moved to Portland, Oregon, and like, so I
The
step
hipster
outside and see all
capital?
these cool people smoking. What was that?
The hipster capital of America, we all know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And
Also,
so,
is
yeah,
that the
that's just, like,
homeless
part of it.
capital of America too, or is that, how much homeless are there?
It's like a chunk. It's like kind of depressing. Like outside of my current work, there are like a shit ton of tents just like lining the sidewalk.
Do they have special terms for them over there? Like transients, the unhoused?
Yeah, most of my friends were like the unhoused or yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, so how different do you think you are from the homeless scum that loiter around outside your work? They're addicted to things, you're addicted, so that's the hard-hitting question. When are you going to be homeless?
Oh, you know, that's a tough question. These days, I feel like there isn't that much difference. I mean, I've got a job that pays enough. Like, I've got my rent covered.
But you
like,
hate
I've
it.
got food.
You would stop working there instantly if you had a better opportunity, right?
Oh, well, actually, I don't work at that shit place anymore, which is like part of the reason why I'm still smoking is kind of depressing.
Oh.
But yeah, even at my current spot, like, I could definitely see myself being homeless, you know, if they laid me off tomorrow.
Right. But you've taken it took till you're 25 to even start smoking cigarettes in earnest. So you don't think like you've got a dangerous future ahead of you where you might fall into I don't know, crazy meth, heroin, all that stuff.
No, that kind of stuff like kind of scares me. Like, I think even if I had surgery, I wouldn't do like oxy and shit. Like, I was once prescribed what the fuck is it? One of the like kind of hardcore drugs when I had a root canal, and I tore up that script because that scared me. So I'm not terrified of like
an opioid
backsliding into serious. Yeah, I'm not terrified of like becoming an opioid addict.
Does that seem like that's the main one that gets people down?
Definitely like fentanyl, like that's a huge one.
Good Lord.
Yeah, opioids I feel like are pretty scary.
You just want to smoke a cigarette in the back of the store.
Yeah, but also I was like raised Mormon, so it's like interesting having this like different cultural relationship where I was raised where like, you know, you have a cigarette and suddenly you're like being fucked by Satan.
Right, because Satan sells cigarettes and
Oh,
caffeine too, right? Isn't that a thing with Mormons? No caffeine.
Kind of, sorta. Like, Mormons love their caffeine, but like only in like sugary sodas. Like they can't drink coffee, can't drink tea.
But they can drink soda
They can have like
with caffeine.
Yeah, they can have like endless Diet Coke.
That's so strange. What's the loophole there? Is it just that coffee is bad? It's not caffeine, it's coffee?
So it's like extra like fucked up and weird. So there's like the word of wisdom in Mormonism, which one of the tenets of that, and that's like how you're supposed to live your life. One of the tenets is you're not supposed to drink, in heavy air quotes, hot drinks, which is just like coffee and tea, but also includes like iced coffee and iced tea. And like modern Mormons have interpreted that as just coffee and tea, and like alcohol sometimes too. So yeah, you can drink caffeine, just not like specific forms of it.
All right, yeah. So it's not really like a ban on caffeine. It's a much weirder ban. It's on hot.
Yeah.
drinks.
Oh hell yeah.
Not even hot chocolate.
Oh, you can have hot chocolate. You can have like hot water. You can have green tea too. Just not like black coffee and black tea.
Huh. Have you had those? What do you think of those?
Oh, I love coffee. That's another bad habit of mine is I'm such a sucker for caffeine these days.
Yeah.
Like I stopped going to the Mormon church when I was like 15, and the second I stopped going, I just became such a caffeine addict.
Good.
I started drinking coffee like every day.
What is you know, when you think of your situation with your personal bad habits, you've got, you know, you're intimately aware of them, but then maybe versus the bad habits of the friends and your roommates or just like the people that you hang out with regularly, do you think that you have the worst habits or that your friends are way worse off than you?
You know, that's a tricky question to answer. I feel like we're all kind of like similar in terms of the like vices we engage in and the bad habits we have. But, you know, like there's definitely a lot more guilt directed at myself over mine, you know, so I kind of demonize myself more than my friends. Like when my friends have a cigarette, I'm like, oh, that's rad. That's so cool. But when I smoke, I'm like, oh shit, I'm like ruining my body. I'm killing myself.
Right. So it does
like
seem cool when
double standard.
from a third person perspective. It's cool to see someone else smoking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why, like, part of the reason at least why I started smoking too, like you said, it's definitely like an aesthetic choice as well.
Mm-hmm. You become a whole different person. It's like becoming gay. It's like changes your whole the public perception is like, I'm a smoker now. Like I'm gay. I'm sucking cock. I'm smoking cigarettes. I am a whole different person now from the perspective of society.
Oh, 100%. Like I walk outside in my like skinny jeans and striped shirt and like dark red lipstick, and I'm smoking a cigarette with like one leg up against the wall. I'm like, I'm the coolest shit. I'm like, I'm the coolest person
You've
here.
been taught, yeah. You know the looks. It's like, this works. This is a proven look.
Oh, absolutely. I never moved past the like 2010 rad hipster aesthetic.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye. Okay, you can still call in. 518-288-7938. Wait, we're already back in.
Call from
Chris.
Chris, hello.
Hey.
Hey, we're talking about bad habits today.
Yeah, I was thinking of which one to do, and I thought one interesting one is that I'm overly interested in fighting, and I think it's a bad habit.
Fighting? Like fisticuffs?
Yeah, it's not that I get in fights, but I got interested in fighting when I heard about the UFC when I was a young teenager. And, yeah, I think it's a crappy sport. I think 90% of the fighters suck in terms of who they are, and Dana White's an asshole. And also, you know, I think too much about, like, punching and kicking and defending myself and all this weird stuff. It's an odd thing to worry about.
You think that the professional fighters, the UFC fighters, they suck?
I said it's people, to clarify.
Oh, okay. But they're good as fighters.
Yes, they're very good fighters.
All right, so when you say you're interested in fighting, does that mean you're interested in learning just like about, you know, all the behind the scenes of UFC, or does that mean you want to fight a guy?
Well, both. Not that I want to fight people, like, really, because then I would. I could do it.
You could just go out whenever you want and just start fighting anybody.
Yeah, I've had like one or two fights in my life, but
recent,
and they were short. I did knock a guy out unconscious like 6 years ago.
What's the scenario there?
It's a crazy story, actually.
Let's hear it.
There was a woman at a bar that was like kind of interested in me, and there was also a guy there. I think it was her friend, and we all went back to her apartment, and I was very drunk, and I was like kind of talking to her, kind of sitting with her on the ground. We were all clothed, but it was like a little bit of touching, and then the next thing I know, I'm being woken up with chemicals thrown in my face.
What does that mean?
I passed out, apparently, sitting up, and then to wake me up, she went and grabbed what I believe was a bottle of Listerine and threw it in my face. And I woke up.
She was scared
mad.
that you passed out or something?
No, because I wasn't doing anything. I was just sitting there. I mean, we were all drunk. It's reasonable for someone to fall asleep. I don't know. I felt like sitting up and then
just let him go.
Yeah, she just like shook at me or yelled at me like, get out of here.
Weird.
I don't know, but she instead went into her bathroom. Maybe out of anger, maybe she thought she was getting laid, but I fell asleep, so she was like, "Fuck this guy." I don't know. I'm reading the comment. This is my man means mouthwash and says chemicals. I didn't know what it was. I later smelled the shirt that I was wearing when it happened. It was like, oh, I think I was Listerine. At the time, it was literally like burning stuff in my eyes.
Don't read the comments. Read the comments
Yeah,
after. But yeah, so a lady splashed a bottle of Listerine in your face. You're half drunk. You're passed out. She runs into the bathroom. Then what happens?
I'm like, I'm like, well, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And the guy that she was with is just like shoving me out of the apartment, and I'm out of the apartment, and he's still just like pushing me. I'm like, stop fucking touching me. I just want to know like why that happened. And he just like reaches over, grabs my shirt, and just like rips my shirt in half. And I just immediately threw a punch, and then I got in my car and left.
That sounds super hot. Couple
It was
of
a
sweaty
horrible
dudes ripping their shirts off each other. Oh shit!
You were probably there's people in the comments.
Don't. I don't want to know.
Probably pointing out that it's actually no one's saying it. Well, the obvious thing to say here is you drove drunk and you punched a guy while you were drunk and apparently terrorized a woman enough that she poured something in your face, even though that isn't what happened. I just fell asleep. But so this brings me to my second bad habit: drinking too much. Yeah.
I just want to say I believe you implicitly, 100%. This is, you're just drunk and then some, you got splashed, dude. And then some dude was like, why are you here, bro? That's my girlfriend, bro. What the fuck? Get out here. Oh, you look fucking hot as hell. Oh, shit. And then you had to run away because you're like, that guy's like, let me just fucking real quick, right?
Yeah. Well, I think you pretty much nailed.
That's just
nailed
my
the major point.
interpretation.
Yeah. It's, I like that one.
Okay, but yeah, it's bad. Drinking too much, you do things you don't remember, and then you end up in scary situations. And you're like, why are you throwing acid in my face?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a common experience, but it happened to me. That's the last time I got in a fight, and before that, it was high school. I punched a kid for something stupid.
Right. All right. So, at this point, you're still interested in fighting? Is it something that you're seeking out? Is you're like, I want to fucking be ready for the next guy who tries to rip my shirt off, and I'm gonna rip his.
I don't need to, and that's just the thing. Is I'm a huge person. I'm already good at fighting. I don't need to get any better because I'm probably never going to get in a fight. Hopefully, again, it's not something that is like a serious concern that happens to people. And the only thing I could say about it is that I did want to know just how good I was, and I went and signed up to fight for Street Beefs. You know what that is?
No.
It is a YouTube channel where anyone can sign up on Facebook, and then you show up at this event and you just fight a random person with a ref in a ring. The shirt was extra large because I'm extra large. I don't remember what shirt it was. It wasn't a great shirt. Goddamn comment.
With gloves, you got a ref, you got a ring. Like, is it boxing or is it what are the rules?
You can sign up to either box, which is by far the most common thing people do. Second most common is MMA, which is UFC, like all the rules: grappling, punching, kicking, everything.
Right.
And then less common is kickboxing, which is what I ended up doing because there was one guy who wanted to kickbox and nobody else. And then the guy was like, well, does anybody else want to kickbox? And I was like, fuck it. So the kickboxer.
Nice, yeah, that's nice of you.
Yeah, I did not win, but it was a pretty good fight. It's actually on YouTube. Took him forever to upload it. I had no training. He literally was seriously skeptical after the fight that I had no training because I did pretty well, but then I lost. I got tired. I was in terrible shape to actually fight for several minutes. And now I think I want to do it again because I don't like losing and I don't want to have only done it and lost.
What is the appeal of fighting? Because this is an interesting topic, and I feel like I could do a whole other stream on this, but this is something I want to know about. What is appealing about learning to fight and then actually fighting? And you're talking about sort of specifically situations where it's like a sanctioned fight. It's not like a self-defense, like I want to be ready in case something happens. Like you're seeking out a fight in this instance.
Right. And I'm a 30-something-year-old man, you know. I don't know. It's strange. I wrote a whole article actually about the Street Beefs experience. It got published. It was cool. And I'm not sure. I guess what I was theorizing in the article, which I think was a little bit pretentious, but is that you kind of, I think a lot of people who are bullied or otherwise mistreated, either by their parents, just don't feel like they have a lot of power. Whenever you realize you can get good at fighting, one, you can defend yourself, you can assert yourself, you know, and it's kind of like you can never be treated like that again. You can never be made to feel small because, you know that no one can just kick your ass. I think that's part of it for a lot of people, but probably that's more of it for me. I'm projecting because I was a skinny, super antisocial, bottom of the totem pole socially, picked on kid, could not defend myself. And I think that through like learning some jujitsu and getting bigger and getting, you know, I have that confidence now. It's a weird confidence because who the hell cares that I can fight well? It's not something that is actually going to happen in my day-to-day life, but it still feels like I've overcome something. It feels gratifying.
So you've had a lot of experiences in your earlier life of feeling like helpless or something, where it's like someone is asserting their dominance over you and you've got nothing you can do in return.
Yeah, kids would pick on me even to the point of, you know, beating me up and I couldn't do anything. Like literally didn't even know how to fight, how to throw a punch. I would flop on my back, you know, like crazy stuff.
That's weird though, because then you acquire this power, the power to fight over years and training and you know, instruction or whatnot, and it's not something you can really. You can only prove to a bully, let's say, that you can fight by fighting them. You can't just say like, "Hey, you better back off because I've watched 100 YouTube videos on fighting and I'll freaking kick your butt, dude." Like,
well, sort of. I would argue that if you're really confident, bullies won't. You don't have to prove it. It's just very obvious when you're not confident, when you are afraid of them, when them fucking with you matters. But if a bully fucked with me when I was a kid and I was like just gave him a look and I really didn't care, I'm probably not the one they're gonna take it too far with. But the kid who's like, stop, you know, like, oh, you're the guy.
All right. So you feel like at this point, like you aren't even a target for people because you have an innate sense of confidence and fighting confidence.
Well, I'm not a target for people because I'm 6'4" and 270. I turned out very big.
That could be a target for some asshole who's just like, I'm gonna fucking beat up the biggest guy here.
Yes, that does happen, especially I work in security, so if I was doing security at like a bar, which isn't something I do very much, that could happen for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, hey, man, thanks for calling in.
You're welcome, man. Do that show on fighting stuff. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, I think that is interesting. All right. Good to hear from you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay. You can call now, 518-288-7938. We're going to do just a call or two more here, and then we'll be calling it quits for the day. We're talking about bad habits. Jeez. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Who's this?
Call from
Pony.
Tony, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. We're talking about bad habits today.
All right, I got good news and bad news.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the bad news is, you know those animations I made?
Yes. This is Cody, not Tony.
Don't fucking dox me! Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
You did dox me.
It's just, you know, I need it for my own personal. All right, this is someone.
Yeah. Anyway, I made those animations. I'm too many. I kind of own you now.
Me?
Yeah, like illegally, like you let me make too many cartoons, so now I like own it or something. The good news is I still completely depend on you to make those animations. I don't know how to write minute-hour skits.
So you've made maybe 10 or 15 even animations out of minute-hour bits.
I think it's 19 now, yeah.
So you're claiming you own me, but also that you need me to continue
It's basically nothing's different at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that a bad habit?
Unless you want to. No, my bad habit's Discord.
Oh.
Discord's really addicting, you guys.
How many servers are you in? How many active servers?
Not that much, but most of my relationships nowadays are based in that.
In the DMs?
Yeah. Like, there's one person in particular I hang out with, like, pretty much every day. He's my best friend. He lives in another country. You know, Scarnews.
Oh, yeah. You work with him.
And it's nice when you, like, create stuff to have, like, another creative person you can work with to just, like, show stuff without spoiling it to your audience, because it's fucking annoying when someone's like, look, I finished drawing these 3 frames today.
Right.
Like, every fucking day. They're like, oh, cartoon says 27th of the way done, you guys. Like, that shit's...
Right. By the time it's done, everyone has seen every part of it.
So that's the bad habit for me, is like I probably spend way too much time on there, and just like having my relationships be all digital. Like, I have friends in real life, but they're in different states now. So, like, if anything, like, I call them, that's digital too, in a way. But yeah, that's the dangerous seduction of, like, the internet, is that it can give you, like, the relationships you want instead of the ones you have. Because I used to have a friend in real life that I tried to work with who was really shitty, man. He was just like the typical person you don't want to be around as a creative. It's like someone who studied art but never does anything, and just, like, wants it to be, you know, they want to be like the director of the project and basically give you no creative control and have you do all the work. So it's like, you don't get any control, but do all the work. Because in my mind, it's one of those people that are like, in my mind, I'm way more imaginative than all these people who make shit I don't know how to make.
They don't understand. If only I could just help them and direct them to what I want, then what they made would be what I want.
No one understands geniuses like us do. And I can't see the chat, but I'm sure they agree.
So, but there is a real problem of, like, you know, people kind of move away. There is a weird thing where it's like your friends, when you're younger, you're friends exclusively with people who are near you physically, and then
that's a lottery. Who knows who's going to influence you? Yeah.
But
and
you're a kid. You're a little.
I want them to hang out with certain kids.
But you're a little kid, so it's like it's easy to make friends and stuff. So it's like, you know, you don't need to really seek them out over the whole globe. There's definitely going to be people in your immediate proximity that you can get along with when you're a little kid, and then you get older and it's just you start spreading out a lot more. Have you ever met Scar Muse IRL?
Not yet. I have seen him once on a video call when a girl called us fat.
Oh.
She, like, psychologically intimidated us. So she's like, oh, you guys don't want to show yourselves? You're fat. And I was like, fuck, that's going to actually work. So we showed ourselves. And, yeah, he's a cool-looking dude. It's kind of unfortunate, though, because I like imagining people as their little, like, characters when I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
I know they're not that, but it's fun to imagine that he's, like, the little wizard dude.
It is. I agree. I mean, I like calling my internet friends by their internet names, and they have varying responses to that. But I think it's
when you hang out with them in real life.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've met some of the people you work with.
It's cringe, bro. But you know, it's just I just like that's how I know them, and so I can't. It's better for me to.
And
not think of them as a person.
He's a guy anyway. It's not like he has an avatar. He's like just him. He's basically him, that character.
Yeah, that's good.
We are our characters.
So what's
You agree?
Yes, I agree. 100%. Yeah. No.
And all the implications there. What were we going to ask? What's up?
So that was the bad habit, is just being too online, Too chronically online.
Yeah, there's way worse ones, but I'm not going to admit it publicly. Oh my god. Video games too is like I don't spend. So you have to kind of give up video games to get anywhere because they're expensive. If you just buy the latest game, you're gonna fucking not be able to invest in anything other than that. Like if you want the gamer lifestyle, it drains your fucking soul.
But it's just so time consuming also. I mean.
Yeah. So I've kicked. It's a big habit that I've kicked. Same thing with smoking, but it's like there's still not smoking, but with the gaming, I still definitely like get a twitch, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting gamer withdrawal. So when that happens, I'll become like a primitive caveman response is to start like making a game, even if I know I won't finish it, just prototype one, just because it's you're exercising your brain a little more than just being on the fucking like a treadmill. Some of those games really are just like fucking treadmills, and there's no significant narrative.
That is a very good response, though. Like, if you're getting stuck in the game playing loop, like, you just, like, start thinking about your own game that you want to make, and then you actually go out and you start making it. You use, like, what do you use? You like the RPG Maker type stuff, or how do you make games?
Yeah, I like the RPG Maker stuff.
Mm-hmm. That seems like a healthy way to transition from playing a lot of games into like doing something that you could actually be proud of yourself.
Yeah, I just like it started a long time ago when I was like trying to look at myself in third person while you're doing these things, while you do anything, like throughout your day. If you pretend to like move your camera and like look at yourself and like actually question what you're doing. Like you might go like, oh, I'm spending a lot of time on Discord messaging people. It's fine to like, have online friends, but not like, I don't know. That friend I was talking about, he had a Discord too, and I saw it one time at his house, and it was like 100 servers or something crazy, and I was like, that can't be good for your brain. Wow. They have like all those notifications, just like you could be on there all day, every day, and that's not good. Like, if you're going to do that, you might as well try to work with something or, like, I don't know, socialize to a significant degree, because socializing in text is, like, not enough at some point, and it takes time.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, hey, thank you for calling in. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, you too. Have a good one, dude. Bye.
All right. That's going to be the last call for the show today. This has been The Call-In Show. We've been listening to music from Breadfruit. I'm going to play one last song before we close it off today. Thank you to everyone who called in, everyone who listened. What was I going to say? Yeah, that's all. Breadfruit. The link to the SoundCloud that I'm playing this from is in the description of this video, so if you like this music, click into that. And it's all totally free and available for you. And have a great day. Thanks for listening.